Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're posing the question, what is the definition of emergency? And why are we posing this? Well, for those who are unaware, we've been under an emergency decree in Thailand since since March 2020. And that's had tremendous ramifications on the immigration system. It's having a tremendous impact on the overall economy as we're still undergoing lockdowns. And the reason I'm bringing this up is it's not to be like contrarian, really at all. It's more just almost in a way to kind of make a record, if for nothing else, almost for myself, as to kind of just, maybe this is kind of an opinion piece in a way, but the definition of emergency, well, let's go ahead and read it. And this is from Merriam-Webster, merriam-webster.com. And definition of emergency: 1, an unforeseen combination of circumstances or the resulting state that calls for immediate action. 2, an urgent need for assistance or relief. Example, the mayor declared a state of emergency after the flood. So let's go back. An unforeseen combination of circumstances or the resulting state that calls for immediate action. So in March 2020, the situation with the pandemic, I think it's easy to call that unforeseen combination of circumstances. And I think it's easy to say it called for immediate action. I think that's safe to say that. Number 2, I think it'd be safe to say an urgent need for assistance or relief. I think at that time you could say that. What about now? We're in August 2021. Is this an unforeseen combination of circumstances? No, we have a pretty good idea what COVID looks like. Is it a resulting state that calls for immediate action? Well, I'm sure there would be those that would say yes, but when viewing it in the standpoint from the perspective of, there's an element of this definition, to my mind, that presupposes a lack of knowledge. We don't know what's going on, and in March of 2020, when everything shut down, nobody knew what was happening. We didn't, and I've noted before that, look, this could have been MERS, and MERS had like a 30% fatality rate. And I'm quoting that off the cuff, but it's my understanding it had a very high fatality rate. And I think if this had been MERS, I think everyone would be, if we were still dealing with it now, I think there would be, in my opinion, some strong argument in favor of especially the continuation of lockdowns, which I don't think is quite there when you look at, we've quoted the numbers. I'm not going to quote the numbers because, quite frankly, I do have the statistics, but I'm not going to do it. Long story short, we have an idea of what COVID is now, and we have certain procedures in place. It does call into question, do I think the emergency decree should end this minute? No, I actually don't. I want to be clear on that. But what I'm saying with this video is it should end at some point. There's a certain point where the urgency and immediacy is no longer there. And I'm hoping we're getting to that horizon sooner rather than later. And the reason for this is, as I've discussed in many other videos, it's resulted in real serious fundamental and substantial hardship in the economy for Thai folks just generally. It's had really substantial ramifications for folks that are in binational, basically international relationships, folks that have a Thai fiance, a Thai spouse, Thai children, that are separated, that have a hard time getting into Thailand due to things like the 14-day lockdown, the 14-day quarantine, etc. And the only reason I bring this up is, again, it's not really to criticize, but I'm just hoping that as time moves forward and the situation starts to progress positively, we start to understand that, look, the urgency is gone and it's time to revert to standard operating procedures in the days moving forward thereafter.